Hey guys, okay, so I'm glad I'm actually recording now. I just now started a StreamYard. I mean, I've already made an account earlier, and I just never went on to StreamYard. But here it is. I have an account. So I didn't know what to discuss, but then I thought about it. I said, why don't I just discuss something that I've already been discussing, but this time I just go live. And I always thought, I said, well, that might be boring for some people. And then I thought about it. I said, well, some people need to hear what you have to say. And that's the whole thing about YouTube. People repeat things over and over and over again. So look at my teddy bears in the back. So listen. So this is what I wanted to say. So we're going to talk about a little bit of the food chain, and we're going to talk a little bit about tobacco companies and a little bit about the old system. And at the same time, we're going to talk about a little bit of everything else, but I'm going to make this very, very quick. I only have like 170 subscribers, and I'm trying to create more content for my channel. So, I'm going to discuss some things that I've already been discussing. So therefore, the people who had already either download my videos and watch them or view them, they are going to get a repeat of what I'm saying, but it's going to be a little bit more. I didn't know who to go live streaming with, but I made a video about, if someone wants to go live with me and want to discuss something, then feel free because I will be able to take advantage of that. Therefore, I'll be growing my channel. I can get my name out there. And if you're already monetized, it would be a good look for your channel also because you're, engaging with someone else that has probably like a newer topic to help your channel understand, how to communicate a little bit more further about other people's opinions who aren't monetized yet. So I thought that would be pretty cool. So what I really wanted to discuss is that people are deciding to become vegetarian slash vegan, and a vegetarian is named vegetarian. They call it vegetarian because it is supporting behind religious reasons. And for people who are not so religious, they give the name vegan, and that is something that separates vegan from vegetarian. A vegetarian doesn't want anything, of course, that comes from an animal, the animal itself, and anything that has eyes. So if it has eyes, they don't want it, not even a seafood. That is vegetarian. They are strictly raw, may not be raw, but they are strictly fruits and vegetables and herbs. A vegan is a little bit on the ex, the exploring side. They don't want any animal products, and they don't want the animal itself. Excuse me, they don't want any land animals, and they don't want anything coming from a land animal like dairy product, cheese, and milk. And they also like the herbs and fruits and vegetables. They do eat that, and they vegans tend to lean on the seafood a lot more, and vegetarians tend not to, because they have eyes. So anything that has eyes that was alive, like an actual, you know, a mammal or whatever, they do not consume it. That's vegetarian. But vegan does tend to eat seafood. Now, um, the reason why people are becoming a vegan is because they have decided that they have decided that anything that grows from the ground, which is fruits, which are fruits, vegetables, and of course herbs, anything that is natural that starts from a seed, they have now figured it out that that is their medicine. So a lot of people turn to that and not turn to taking actual medicines with chemicals in it because they don't have to worry about any negative side effects. The medicine that people take, which are pills, or it can be a liquid form of medicine like ibuprofen, Tylenol, maybe Robitussin. Let's see, a flu shot. Those have chemicals in it, but it also has the medicine from natural plants that grow from the ground. Now, why do they have both? They have both because your body may have consumed meat and it may have consumed artificial ingredients that aren't natural that can cause your body to take longer to get healed. And that was the whole purpose of you eating natural foods that grow from the ground. That was the whole purpose. And some people aren't going to stop eating meat. So they made chemicals and they made the medicine to have chemicals in it so it can break down all of the bad toxins from your body so that your body can get the vitamins from the natural things that are inside of the medicine itself with the chemicals. So as you can see, this is why side effects occurs because that pretty much defeats the whole purpose. It's almost like the medicine will work, but it would work faster if you were already a vegan or a vegetarian. Then you took the medicine, but you still have to worry about a side effect. You may not experience a headache or being overheated or things like that, but you will experience something in the long run, and that is failed organs. You may not feel anything, but over time your organs can fail because of the medicine, the chemicals inside of the medicine. Now if you want to be ahead of the game and you want to get the full benefits for your health 100%, you would take vitamins, and some vitamins have chemicals in it, but you would get the vegan vitamins that are 100% plant based, and then continue to eat your natural foods. Then you'll be ahead of the game because you're already eating medicine naturally for your daily foods. Then you're taking more vitamins just in case you didn't eat an apple that day or you didn't eat something like some nuts that day or anything that would be extra beneficial to um, a natural thing that will provide medicine and healing for your body. So you're pretty much ahead of the game if you become a vegan or a vegetarian and decide to take vitamins. Now, this is the thing that is really like kind of funny, but it's not funny in a way. Doctors and the FDA, which is the Food and Drug Administration, they all know the answer to this. And believe it or not, this is in the Bible. Okay. When Jesus said that I will provide all of your medicine and everything that you need for your healing, and it begins from the seeds of the earth, that is what we are supposed to be consuming. But more people have gotten greedy over the years and they wanted meat and they demanded the meat because of, well, greed, and they wanted to explore more things out there to try to taste and eat. But now, money has been the cause of people's downfall because remember, the money isn't the root of all evil, but the love of money is. If it gets to the point to where you don't care about your health or someone else's health, but yet someone wants to pay money for a certain amount of things, which is meat, they're going to pay for it. But it's not any of our fault. It's none of our fault. Everyone who is alive right now, it's not our fault. It is the system that started it many years ago, and then over time, it has been repeating itself over and over and over again until people, became normalized by consuming meat. And now it's like a normal thing. And people broadcast it on television, commercials, billboards, magazines. They broadcast, the Baconator or the Big Mac, or and now people are starting to realize that that was, pretty much um, misleading because, and the reason why I say misleading is because the system that disapproves, excuse me, the system, which is the American system, the old system, which some things are still going on now. So I'm going to say the American system that approves the disapproval of animal cruelty. Remember, they do not like animal cruelty. The system does not like animal cruelty. If you, shoot a dog, you're going to jail. If you shoot a bird, a bald eagle, you're going to jail. It's animal cruelty. And yet they advertise about eating animals every day and sending animals, poor animals, to the slaughterhouse every single day. And these animals are getting slaughtered and killed to be consumed by humans whose health is not going to be its best. It's not going to have its best interest. People's health aren't best interest does not rely in meat. It relies in natural foods. And you feel better, you don't feel tired, you have more energy, and you look better, and all of these things have a good effect on your life whenever you become a vegan and do not consume meat or things that have artificial flavorings. Now, moderation is the key, and the gospel does say moderation is the key. But now we are realizing that the gospel told us how to eat, and the gospel also told us moderation. So we can figure out ourselves overeating the wrong foods and have a bad effect on our health, whether we get sick or um, who knows, you just don't feel well, but people vomit and people get sick and people feel, like they have the flu. They do have the flu. They get stomach bugs, like they say, or viruses and things like that. Natural foods, if you overeat that, you don't vomit, unless you just really cram in your face, and then you've overeaten. But whenever you eat your natural foods, it sends a message to your brain to says that I'm full, but it's in a natural way. It's not in a you will literally stop. You won't continue to consume it like a food of like a meat or things like that. Some people will, but just know that you can eat as much as health. You can eat as much healthy food as you would like to eat, and will not have to worry about a bad side effect. So you're ahead of the game whenever you do that. So when I made a video and I talked about the old system is coming down, I was definitely talking about the old system, which was the Confederate system. They are coming down because, well, if you look around, people now know the gospel more than ever. Even Burger King decided to sneak in there with the Impossible Burger, the Impossible Whopper. They snuck in there. It's like, oh crap! Everybody's turning vegan. They're starting to know that in order to have a long life and healthy organs, and to not have to worry about going to the hospital because you have the virus, or you're sick, or you have the flu, or you have cancer, because meat is the cause of cancer. Artificial flavoring is the cause of cancer, not natural foods. And this is the reason why you see more vegan products in grocery stores now. And some people are saying, well, why, if they know this is the answer to our health and to living better and not being sick, why is it still being allowed? That is the reason why the old system is coming down. And some people were feeling very hurt about seeing the Confederate statues come down in Washington, D.C., and all over the world, but it wasn't to say that you were going to be destroyed. It was just saying that whatever was causing you to be sick, it's not going to happen anymore, more because you have more money. it was supporting taxes, it was supporting, because who wants to go to work and work for all their money and then be taxed for it and then not have enough for their car payment or their house or their child to go you know to prom or something, whatever. School's probably not even going to have a prom anymore, but but who doesn't want to have insurance for their child or anything like that, money that they could be given back to them on the spot instead of having it taken out for them and then getting it back at the end of the year for taxes, but then get taxed with that also. There's nothing wrong with getting your full amount of money because the money's going back into the economy as soon as you get ready to spend it. So shouldn't really be a need to cry over a Confederate statue coming down, because it's like saying, okay, you're going to be free, but if you don't, but you're going to be free if you take the statues down and we change the system. You're still going to be alive. We want you to be alive. We don't want you to be sick. We want you to have your money back. And then some people were literally crying and out there protesting, and we were like, "Do you guys see what's going on? Everybody is going to feel like they're living in paradise. Everything can't be free. It's going to hurt businesses." No, it's not. Everyone's going to be like, "Oh my God, I have my own money. I can do whatever I want." The Confederate system is not here to enslave us anymore. That's what we were talking about. So some people should, really think about that, because that's exactly what I meant. Okay, let me turn this light on so you guys can see me. So yeah, that's what I mean. Maybe too bright. Let me make sure I turn it down just a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it right there. So yeah, that is the whole concept about what I was talking about. I wanted to discuss that. Um, so there's nothing wrong with wanting freedom for everyone. It's just like people were used to being enslaved with the system so long of going to work, standing on their feet for 8 hours a day, and not getting their full benefit of money that they deserve, and having to repeat the same process over and over again. And honestly, to be honest with you, like I've always been, to be honest, um, is this light okay? Okay. Well, to be honest, let me try to turn it down a little bit. Oh, okay, that's a lot better. So, to be honest with you all, um, people should just understand that it would be a lot more better for everyone to get their money back as soon as they get paid. So if you tell someone, um, for instance, I'm going to give you $10 an hour. You go. I want you here for 8 hours. That's $80. After taxes, you're going to bring home about $65. Probably less than that. Probably $55. Probably 62. Okay, and you multiply 80 times 5 in a week. You know that's almost $400 after taxes and everything. Almost. You would be more of happy about getting everything that you deserve, everything that you worked for, right? Because a bigger company pays your employer a larger number. They give your employer a larger number, okay? And then they take some out for taxes, and then they take some out for them also. But why not just get your full amount of what you deserve? Therefore, you will be ahead of the game. There's nothing wrong with that. Taxation without representation, that started many, many centuries ago. And for the person who started taxes, who wanted taxes, that's like a different meaning from where we stand today. We stand today in a land of freedom, so we don't really need to continue. I mean, not that they didn't stand in the land of freedom back then, but we have a better reason. And I'm pretty sure someone had a better reason for not being taxed back then also. But we have a stronger, reason for not wanting to be taxed because we worked for it. So it's like we're signing a paper promising us $20 an hour, but really we're getting back $15 an hour after taxes. So why not just tell me that I'm going to get $15 an hour? Why even bother telling me I'm going to get $20 an hour? You know, and it's just taxes over taxes, and when you cash your check, it's taxed. You know, and when you go to the store and you buy something tax, what's the use of it? What is the use of tax when you have paid your full amount? There's no need for an extra tax because out of each person, you've gotten more money out of them for each individual anyway for whatever they decide to buy. Either they're getting on a bus or they're catching a train or they're buying a product. It needs to be solid on a dollar. It needs to be solid on a dollar. Um, but more importantly, if you're going to tax someone in the store, okay, fine, tax them in the store. Overdoing it would be a little bit too much. But what'll really be too much is you tax someone for coming to work and working 8 hours a day, and then you tax them instead of just giving them the full amount. That'll just be, you know, that wouldn't be so exciting to experience. I mean, it's barely exciting to stand on your feet for 8 hours a day, you know, um, while other people are finding a way to make money. It really is. But you can do it too. Anyone can find a way to make money now. They don't have to do that. So if you ever decide to leave your 9 to 5 job, you know, in the future there will be robots, taking over. And that's when humans would have had enough of doing um, working in the condition that was set here centuries ago. And some people have gotten out of that mind frame of doing that because they feel like, they can get a lot more done and gain a lot more money by being their own entrepreneur. And some people are both. They go to work and they are still entrepreneurs. There's nothing wrong with that. But whatever floats your boat, whatever feels good for you, you go and you do that. But I wanted to make this video because I wanted people to understand that making the change in your diet is going to help you a whole lot more. And remember, your blessing is going to come so much. Like your blessing is really, really, really going to wrap. Like you're already going to be blessed regardless. But you're going to be blessed even more whenever you decide to change your diet and you do so, because it's not, some people say, well, I can't live without eating meat. We need meat. No, you don't. The Confederate system said that you need meat to survive. If they loved us so much, why didn't they just have that there? Why didn't they just tell us? And then some of them say, we did tell you. Did you do your research? You learned that in grade school, Well, the advertisement has a lot to do with misleading. And remember, I talked about misleading. Um, the American system says that it's misleading to kill an animal in the street, or dog, or cat, or shoot a bird, an eagle. But it's not misleading to slaughter and kill animals in the slaughterhouse every day for us to eat at McDonald's or Burger King and Wendy's and things like that. It's not misleading. They're still animals. And that's one of the things why I said it's not your fault. If you are alive right now and you're listening to this video, it is not your fault that you are eating animal meat. It's not your fault. It is the people that were here centuries ago. And there's been a pattern. And now this is Revelations and the rapture is here. strong. Go look up the definition of rapture, and you're put the picture together. It means strong sexual intense affection. A feeling. It's a strong one, and everyone is so highly strong on an intense feeling that it's the wrong feeling. So we have to get people out of that feeling, and have their have a strong feeling for the right ones, for the right feelings, the right way, and that is becoming a vegan. That is becoming a vegan, and for instance, there's a lot of people who are addicted to pornography, and that's because the American system had made it okay for people to be engaged into things like that. And now some people have they're more strong and a strong desire to like something that had caused them a family. um they like the same sex more than the opposite sex, and they haven't even went to go you know even made a move to, or probably attempted or wasn't successful of getting with another woman, because they were so strongly desirable of the same sex. So it kind of like it can hinder someone from having a family, and that was because of pornography. But the truth is the truth, right? And you can even though people can experience sexuality, the same sex um experience, even though people can experience the love of the same sex, can happen naturally without the internet. But I just wanted people to know that how much of an influence and misleading that the internet can be sometimes in certain circumstances. And like it's literally. So I just want you all to know that there's nothing wrong, with how you feel. If you like the same sex, it doesn't matter. Um, but I did want people, I don't care, but I'm just saying, how people can be misled and influenced the wrong way, or a way that is distracting, and they didn't need to look at this in order to continue going somewhere. Like some people were going down a straight path. Now, this is not to say that you're not going on a straight path still, but some people were going on a straight path, and then something caught their attention, and who knows, they were probably shamed or wronged or picked on or whatever, and they continued, and then sometimes they would turn and still go this direction, but they was trying to go this direction, and whatever they was attracted to was like more strong on them, and it pretty much like didn't stop them from getting where they wanted to, but some did, but some people it just slowed them down from the process that they wanted to pursue, for happening. So that's the reason I can't make this stuff up. um but a lot of people have definitely, and I mean definitely, they have been brainwashed and to thinking that it's okay to eat animals, and really it's not. It's not. Even the tobacco companies, they smoke tobaccos in the early ages of, early ages of the beginning ages of the centuries, like very, 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 very early. But people were smoking tobacco products as a sacrifice to the gods, And honestly, the tobacco companies, they added chemicals to it, which was unnecessary, but because of the love of money and the experimenting, it got people to become sick because there was nothing natural. So, and then of course, a moderation means, I mean, that has a lot to do with it also, and the Bible does talk about that. But the reason why everything's out of order is because the American system had took the gospel out and rearranged it and interpreted the way that they wanted to benefit other people for the love of money, and that caused the system, to be a little bit dysfunctional, because now you have to worry about people going to the hospital and having a high doctor bill when they could have just in consumed or intake natural things into their body and not have to worry about chemicals. That's just what happened. And that's another thing about the no taxes, about the old Confederate system, that it's coming down because A lot of people wouldn't even have doctor bills because they have high blood pressure or heart disease or diabetes or um, um, headaches or any something diseases or the flu or virus. They wouldn't have to go there and then get treated for symptoms for the conditions when they could have just consumed natural foods and that was their medicine. They were their own doctor. But that's what happens when you take the gospel out of certain things. That's why I said I always would allow someone to understand what I'm talking about, what about how to change the world. And now all I can do is talk and influence someone, and I can do something also. But in the meantime, what by me doing something is encouraging others to turn away from the meat. And if you're not ready to right now, it is okay. Um, because a lot of people were already used to eating it that they don't see any other way out right now. But there is another way out, just slowly, slow down on the meat that you eat. And if you want to do the method that I used, I slowly stood away from the dark meat. Then I went to the chicken. Then I went to the seafood and started eating the shrimp. And then I slowly took myself out and then I didn't eat any more meat. And that was my reason. So I really hope this video inspired someone. And don't forget, your medicine is from the natural foods that grow in the ground. Everything, no matter what it is, that is your natural healer. See you guys.